Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back once again to your continuing coverage of the Defense 2, brought to you and organized by joinDOTA, commentated by Toshley and sponsored by Raze and BenQ. We'll be continuing on with the group stages, or rather the playoffs of the Defense 2, and we'll be continuing on with POTM versus Na'Vi. We saw POTM absolutely dominate throughout the entirety of the first game, from denying first blood from Na'Vi with a very nicely timed deny, and from then on out completely stomping them into the ground. This is of course a best of 3. Can Na'Vi bring it back? Can they bring it to a third game, or will POTM wipe them out to 0? Of course, on the Radiant side, we have the team of POTM with a full roster reporting in from them. Frogged sitting in the captain's chair, Tides of Time, Sneaking, Aya, Ayui, and Hooga Luga. And over on the side of Na'Vi, they'll be playing on the dire side. The team hailing from the land of the Ukraine, we have Captain Puppy, Havorst, Dendi, Light of Heaven, and Dartsart. And jumping straight into the draft, being removed out by Na'Vi, we have Lycan and Darkseer, two very standard bans, and POTM responding to that with Rubik, strangely enough, and a Nature's Prophet. Somewhat surprised about Rubik because POTM used Rubik and they used him to great effect. This could possibly be hinting towards that they want some heroes with some big, powerful ultis, such as SK in his Epicenter, Black Hole from the Enigma, or Ravage from the Tidehunter. Or maybe they simply just don't want to deal with the nuisance that Rubik is. He's great in lane, very good at dealing harassment and getting last hits. And of course, the ability to steal spells is always useful. Chen going to be the third ban out, god damn it. Na'Vi and Puppy love to play that Chen. It's something that I love to see. His micro is absolutely phenomenal, but he gets taken out by POTM. One thing to note is there are still some powerhouses here. Broodmother is still in, and POTM used Broodmother very effectively in the last game. And Naga Siren's still in. We also have some heroes such as Enchantress. The Naga Siren gets taken out. Very understandable. I mean, with heroes like Tidehunter, and who else do we have? Enigma, and SK, and all these heroes with big, powerful ultimates. Never want to have a Naga Siren combined with any of those heroes. Unless you've banned out Enigma, Tidehunter, SK, and again all those other big heroes, then maybe you can let Naga Siren slip. However, that ulti is great for escaping, great for engaging, and a 5-second ensnare that goes through magical immunity? That sounds like the greatest thing ever. The first pickup for the team of POTM going to be selected up Na'Vi. First pickup going to be the out of the Broodmother. Broodmother was definitely a very clutch in POTM success in the previous game. Not just Na'Vi, but the fact that the Tinker, the Dendi playing like Tinker, didn't really have that much success. Will Na'Vi be able to replicate what POTM did with that Broodmother? We'll have to wait and see. Already ticking away into their reserve time. The draft in the last game took so goddamn long. Not that that's a bad thing, but it took forever. It really did. It took longer than most do. It doesn't really bother me too much, and I have a feeling the same thing is going to happen in this game, which is, of course, a little bit unfortunate, but we're going to have to deal with it. There will, of course, be a time in the description of the video saying that, you know, click here to skip the picks and the bans and jump straight into the action. Who Puppy want to select up next? Darkseer has been taken out, but we've got Enchantress, Leshrac, Shadow Demon. Both of those heroes actually not even seeing the light of day in the previous game. Leshrac specifically has a tendency of being picked up or banned in just about every game that he's played in. Definitely every game of Dota 2 that's played, rather. Definitely one of the first games where I didn't see Leshrac at all. Jeez, Poppy, we're on our second pick, and we've got 20 seconds of bonus time remaining, and Brewmaster is going to be the second pickup for the team of Na'Vi. And POTM have 2 selections to pick up for themselves, and there are once again a lot of powerful heroes in the mix. We've got a good bit of versatility to come out of the Invoker. We can have a reasonable amount of tank ability, we have good support, good amount of disables, good amount of AoE damage, and a good amount of AoE disables, and this will of course be very effective against the Broodmother, considering that, well, 1 Meteor, 1 Tornado, 1 Deafening Blast, and all the Spiderlings will be dead. Na'Vi Puppy took a long time to pick their previous heroes, the heroes that they just picked, and I think POTM might echo this, already ticking away into their reserve time. And I most certainly hope that Na'Vi can try and bring this one back, because thus far in the playoffs of the Defense 2, we've had nothing but 2-0s. I don't think we've seen a game go to a third set. Thus far, it's always just been 2-0 wipe. So maybe we can have it 2-1 this time. A nice change of pace, especially with two high caliber teams playing against each other. And the door is wide open as to what POTM Bottom wants. Shadow Demon, Leshrac, nice bit of push, nice bit of single target control. How do they want their lanes to look as well? We're going to have Invoker most likely going solo mid. He can also go solo bottom or bottom alongside someone else. He has good escape, Ghost Walk. Who knows? But we have 10 seconds of reserve time left. And they go with Tidehunter and Leshrac. What's with the long drafts today? Come on Frogged, come on Puppy. Oh, we're getting ever so closer to the finals of the Defense 2. It's understandable that we might want to be very careful, very proceeding and very intricate with the way we choose our picks and bans. It might take just a little bit longer than it normally does.
10 seconds remaining.
Excuse me. So with Tidehunter and Leshrac, we have a lot of AoE teamfight presence, as a matter of fact, as well as a good amount of single target control. Every single hero here has some form of disable or slow, and then we also have some form of AoE damage. Invoker, of course, having an entire arsenal of area of effect damage. Then we have Tidehunter, has the Gush, has the Anchor Smash, and most importantly has the Ravage. And the Anchor Smash, of course, is great against the Broodmother. Anchor Smash, suddenly the Spiralings do no damage, not to mention the Kraken Shell, which is going to absorb a big chunk of the damage, big chunk of any damage that Tidehunter could potentially deliver, or rather that Broodmother could potentially deliver. Enigma is going to be the third and final pickup for the first stages of the picks. As for how POTM Bottom's lanes are looking, it's most likely very possible we're going to see Invoker go solo mid. We'll see Tidehunter trying to go solo lane against that Broodmother, unless POTM Bottom pick up an SK, which Na'Vi might actually end up banning out because of how effective SK is against the Broodmother. So they're probably going to try and put Tidehunter against whatever lane Broodmother is in. Leshrac, they're probably going to synergize a hero up with him, such as maybe SK, which is... SK would also work nicely because Leshrac and SK synergize beautifully. Maybe Shadow Demon, who's still in the mix. We'll have to wait and see. POTM Bottom take out the Tinker, 100% understandable. Tendi is great with that Tinker when he gets to a good start, of course. In that previous game, Tinker didn't perform all that well. Na'Vi's hero, they take out the VS, take out the Vengeful Spirit. And POTM Bottom's final ban is going to be that of the Venomance, with Na'Vi responding to that with a Shadow Demon. So no Leshrac Shadow Demon combination going to be coming out of POTM Bottom, but we still have the SK, who synergizes very nicely with that Leshrac. And if Tidehunter starts having an awful time at top against the Broodmother, SK can rotate with him if so desired. But again, the doors are right open. POTM Bottom have a lot of heroes to select from, rather. We also have very little bonus time remaining for them. We used it all up very early, and Silly Bear is going to be the next hero selected by the team of POTM Bottom. And as to how these lanes will unfold, it's quite possible that we'll not see that Tidehunter going solo up against the Broodmother. Maybe we'll see the Lone Druid going up against him. While Lone Druid isn't exactly effective against the Broodmother, Lone Druid is perfectly capable of surviving against the onslaught that Broodmother can deal. Or maybe we'll see Lone Druid and Leshrac. Not sure, and SK is going to be secured up by Na'Vi, denying that hero from the team of POTM Bottom and securing it up for themselves. And we have a nice amount of AoE team. We've got great team fight to come out of the Brewmaster with the split. Then we have the Enigma and the SK, which is Black Hole and Epicenter, and that of course equals a large amount of damage to the entire team of POTM Bottom, or at least anyone that's in the vicinity. And it will be great. Na'Vi has great, fantastic engagements thus far. And then, of course, we have the Broodmother, who's just going to be alone in her lane, killing towers, hopefully. And once again, Rasta making an appearance, being secured up by POTM Bottom. And Rasta works out nicely, because it's two disables that we can potentially use against that SK or the Enigma. And with the three disables, and I guess you could count Lone Druid, sort of a pseudo-disable to come out of Lone Druid and the Tidehunter, it means that Na'Vi have to be very careful with the Black Hole. They need to make sure they select everyone. Well, they need to select the heroes. They need to select Leshrac, Invoker, or Shadow Shaman, or else suddenly the Black Hole is going to get interrupted unless you have a BKB. Shadow Demon is going to be the 5th pickup. Haven't seen a game with him before, and this is definitely going to be an absolute pleasure. So we're going to see Dendi, of course, on the Shadow Fiend. He will be going solo mid. The rest of the lanes looking for the team of Na'Vi. We're going to have, most likely, we'll see Enigma in the jungle, Broodmother taking the solo off lane, the solo lane, and then we'll have Brewmaster alongside the SK. And over on the side of POTM, well, let's have a look at who is playing who. We have Aya playing as that lone druid. Hoogla boogla boogla playing as the roster. We have a Frogd taking up the role of the Invoker. Tides of Time to play as the Leshrac. And then we have Sneaking playing as the Tidehunter. And over on the side of Na'Vi, we have Arsart playing as the Enigma. Light of Heaven playing as the Broodmother. Then we have Havorst to take up the role of the Brewmaster. Puppy to play as that SK. And last but by no means the least, we have Dendi to play as the Shadow Fiend. As to how these lanes will unfold, are we going to see Dendi going up top into the safe lane? Could see Broodmother mid. I'm not sure. They might just be roaming around for the next couple of moments. We'll see the lanes unfold very shortly. And straight up buying a Ring of Bacillus, a Clarity, and he has the money for that, starting gold for that. And a healing salve.
30 seconds to battle.
Looking at the lanes coming out of the team of POTM bottom. Over at the top, we're going to have Leshrac. In mid, we shall have the Invoker. And down the bottom, we'll have Rasta alongside the Lone Druid, the Silly Bear. And chances are Tidehunter will be joining alongside the Leshrac. Arsart and Tides of Time going to meet up, exchange with a bit of a right click. However, no further damage to be dealt. And Puppy alongside Dendi going to be up at top, and it seems we'll have Arsart in the jungle as you'd expect. Light of Heaven going solo mid, definitely not what I would have expected. And down the bottom, this leaves Havorst to go solo against, of course, Rasta and the Silly Bear. Invisibility immediately being secured by Tidehunter, and as a result, he's going to scout around in the jungle, see if he can see what the lanes are looking like, possibly looking for a Broodmother up top, and he's not going to find it. Also looks like a support Leshrac to be coming out. Or is he blocking the cam? I think he just blocked the neutral cam. Very smart play to come out of the sneaking. Out of the team of POTM bottom, rather. Making good use of that invisibility rune that was secured. And he's just going to go straight into the lane. Maybe do a bit of damage. Jump out. Maybe even first blood. I don't think they have the damage enough for that. The guns should go down. Dendi's getting very low, but a nice Burrow Strike to come down by Poppy. And it will be enough to secure the life of Dendi. We will just continue on with the right-clicking action. An Invoker, especially an Aquas Invoker, is going to have a great time against the Broodmother. Can just right-click at every single opportunity down here in the bottom lane. Havorst is already taking a lot of right-clicks from both the Bear and Rasta. A lot of aggression to come out of POTM bottom thus far in every single lane. Top, mid, and bottom. Aggression coming out by everyone. Lanes being pulled. Havorst is probably going to have a horrible time down bottom going solo against these two heroes. We've got Harassment to come out of Lone Druid and his Bear, and of course the Disables to come out of Rasta. The Broodmother being Light of Heaven being very aggressive. However, Frog doesn't have to worry too much. Cold Snap, a few right clicks, and a lot of damage will be taken up by that Broodmother. But the team of Na'Vi are returning that aggression over the top lane. Dendi at every single opportunity, dealing a right click down and pushing this lane very, very far forward. Currently sitting 7 for 0 on the Invoker, going Blades of Attack first, wanting to build straight into Phase Boots. Broodmother closing in. However, I don't think Frog has to worry too much. This Broodmother is manly as hell, clearing out the trees, making sure no one sneaks up from the behind. And at every single opportunity, Havorst is getting right-clicked down, but he has a good amount of survivability. Should be able to withstand against all the damage, but he's currently 3 for 1, going to use his illusions to deal a little bit of, not so much harassment, but get last hits, which is something he absolutely needs, but he's not having much success because the team of POTM bottom immediately take them down. Invoker's having a relatively good time. Same with the Broodmother, however, neither one having any quabbles. However, Havorst is having a horrible time. He can't really lane against this. A lot of harassment to be dealt out. He only has 3 last hits, and he cannot exchange blows with the Silly Bear. It's just not going to work out. Tidehunter and Leshrac venturing around a lot. Looks like they're thinking maybe we could take on the Broodmother. But then again, we don't have detection. So that's probably not going to work out very nicely. But they're going to return back to their respective lanes. Tidehunter pushing himself very far forward up at top. He has a Rankin Kraken Shell and a Buckler, so he can take all the right-click damage from both Puppey and Dendy, all the right-click damage that he wants. And First Blood has been spilt down here by the neutral camp, being secured here by the team of POTM Bottom. Very understandable. Havorst is going to have a bad time against the team of Ogla Bugla Bugla, and of course Aya.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Can't even get close to get those right-clicks. And full-on Quas Wex Invoker to be played today, and it's such a pleasure to see a bit of a change from the Exort Quas that you usually see. Double Forge Spirits. Looks like we're dealing a little bit of aggression towards this middle lane. Light of Heaven getting a little bit low on HP, but he will ultimately be fine. He has the webs, currently at rank 2, and of course a healing salve in case things get very dire. An Entangle to go down with the forces, taking a lot of right-click damage, but he'll be absolutely fine. They can't continue to pursue due to the fact that it is, of course, a freaking tower. Cold Snap to fall down, Light of Heaven taking a couple of right-clicks, but again, to be absolutely fine. We'll end up being absolutely fine, rather. A big army of Spidlings being secured here by Havorst, or rather by Light of Heaven. Tides of Time waiting in position, making use of that invisibility rune, but I don't think they're going to continue to pursue. Or rather do any form of damage. Shadow Fiend currently sitting on 22 for 15, having a relatively good time over in the top lane. With the Tidehunter 7 for 2, unable to deal all that much aggression, because even with a Kraken Shell, even with that Buckler, it doesn't stop the Shadow Raise, and that Shadow Raise can do a lot of damage, especially since you can use it 3 times. Just need to get in position for each one, of course. And as a result, he's forced to stay very far away from the lane. He's only staying just barely in experience range. However, the same can be said for Havorst. He's only level 5, 11 last hits in total, with 1 death under his belt as well. Not having the greatest of time thus far. Sentry Ward being placed down in the lane here. We can't have Broodmother just hiding it out all day, every day. And Frog just pushing this lane very, very hard. Meanwhile, Sandwich coming in at the top lane. The Burrow Strike to follow through. Shadow Raise to come down. Malthus Stun to follow as well. And Sneaking is looking very dead. Last hit in hand for the Shadow Fiend. Easy peasy. Bit of revenge for the team of Na'Vi, bringing the score to 1-1. Taking a quick gander at the gold is... I think this is bugged. I cannot see Na'Vi having that significant of a gold advantage. Cold Snap to go down, Light of Heaven once again. He will be fine. Healing Salve himself straight back to safety. And Na'Vi alongside, or rather Arsad alongside Puppey coming in to reinforce. We want to possibly take this tier 1 tower, maybe even kill off Frog, who's been being an absolute nuisance thus far. Caustic Finale on every single creep. Havorst moving in as well. The entire team of Na'Vi is down here at the bottom lane. They want this tier 1. Fortification is available. No reinforcements are rolling in. A nice tornado to fly through, catching all the Spilings, doing a nice chunk of damage. And Frog is doing what he can to try and hold this off, but unfortunately what he can do is not all that much. The fortification has dropped, doing absolutely nothing, and the team of POTM Bottom are not coming in to reinforce, so this would be a first very easy tower for the team of Na'Vi. And after this, I think we're just going to back off, but it is coming at a trade. The team of course, POTM Bottom, who team name I briefly forgot, if you couldn't tell, are taking this tier 1. And as a result, Na'Vi are looking to just continue pushing on. Burrow Strike to come down, Spiling Charges to follow, a nice tornado to fly through, but the Malthus Stun is going to provide too much, and then the Invoker will take a fall at the middle lane. The tier 1 tower at the top, at the bottom rather, for Na'Vi takes a fall. However, Na'Vi are going to try and trade that for a tier 2. Do they have the damage to take this down? I'm not entirely sure. Reinforcements can roll in at a very rapid rate to defend this tier 2. I really don't think they're going to have the damage, but they're going to try and do as much damage to it as possible, especially with the black backdoor protection. At POTM Bottom are content with going for a trade, and because of that level 2 edict, their tower falls a lot faster than this tower. Well, actually, both fall at roughly the same time. So thus far in towers, a 1-to-1 trade on both apartments. Now Na'Vi looking for possibly some easy kills. We have a Tidehunter who doesn't have Ravage. We also have an Invoker who has Ghost Walk. But we don't have any sentries, I don't believe, so he can simply Ghost Walk his way straight to safety. Split Earth doing what it can. So again, an even exchange of affairs thus far. I would look at the gold graph, but it's currently bugged, which makes me sad. Burrow Strike to go down. We're currently going in on Tide of Time. Thunderclap combined with the Spiderling charges makes it a very dead donkey Leshrac thing. 1,000 of your kind have fallen before me. And over in the top lane, Dendy's being caught out, being blocked here by the Invoker. The Shadow Razor go down. The Invoker might take a fall. A couple more right clicks will do it. A couple more tower hits, rather. But the Quas, as alongside that Tango, provides a little bit too much. But over in the middle lane, action is unfolding once again. Na'Vi very low on HP. The Brewmaster seems to have taken a kill over here on the Tidehunter. And they're continuing to push forward. The split has been had. Nice Burrow Strike to come down. The Bear Form, however, takes a lot to kill. The Entangle to come down on Poppy. He's going to be the next member to take a fall. We have the Kaiga to fall down. And we have Broodmother sort of waiting in position, but not really wanting to engage. The Tornado to fly out. Edict damage alongside the Entangle and the Cold Snap. So many disables and an easy couple of kills for Bottom Bottom. And Tower barely stands on its toes. Actually in deny range right now. Might have an ass to be careful. What's across the road? Death. And a lot of it, and they have detection. Let's see, do we have some sentry wards? Okay, maybe they don't have detection. He's fine. So, Bear going for double Midas, possibly? 2 gloves of haste.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
His middle tower is taking a beating. Fortification has been dropped. Arsart unable to do anything. No mana, no HP. But he can use the Soul Ring to get with the Black Hole, unfortunately. He has to catch everyone or else he'll die. The Gush has gone down. We've come in from the sidelines and he used the Soul Ring to try and maybe get a Black Hole down, but alas, he ended up taking a fall. Burrow Strike to go in, but the Shackle immediately landing down. He's not even high enough level for Epicenter. Entangle's following through as well. He's easy dead. Pavor's trying to do what he can. Ross getting awfully low, but he's ultimately forced to back off before he takes a beating. Doesn't have his ultimate available for him. And they sort of ventured in one at a time. We suddenly, Enigma went in and then SK went in and they both died. Then he blinking straight in Shadow Rays to pick up an easy kill on the roster. Blink Dagger already. Arsart has returned to the fray and this tower still stands and will be easily denied by the team of Na'Vi.
Dire's middle tower has been denied.
No tower for you, they utter. From here on out, Na'Vi, they probably shouldn't push mid like we saw before. We may as well just go get a couple of towers. It would be easy peasy, a lot easier. Speaking of getting a couple of towers, Broodmother is doing absolute work at this bottom lane. Not all that much that the Lone Druid can do about it, especially with Pavor hiding in the sidelines to defend in case any form of danger lands on that Broodmother. Over the top, we're moving in on Frogs. He's going to jump straight into the Ghost Walk. No, will not try and TP, but he gets caught out by a Burrow Strike. Now he jumps in the Ghost Walk, but we have Shadow Razors available. Will Denny be able to get off a lucky clutch Shadow Raze? There it goes. No, not in the right spot, unfortunately. But Frog is still one Shadow Raze from death, and Puppy's looking in. A nice Burrow Strike to come down. He knows that he's nearby somewhere. So low in HP. And it looks like Frog will just barely survive out of this. But he has to be careful. They know he's nearby, and one Burrow Strike is all it will take. However, he doesn't have the mana, and Shadow Fiend doesn't have the mana for another Shadow Raze, rather, and Frog is looking absolutely safe. A very lucky break for him. Tidehunter working his way towards possibly a mechanism or a pipe. Either one is no doubt a possibility. Over on the Leshrac, we just have a Bracer and a Ring of Bacillus. Rasta having nothing, but that's such as the life of the support. We have Invoker working his way towards some Drums of War. And who are we missing? What the hell are we buying? Mithril Hammer? Why? Oh, we went straight for a Maelstrom. Not exactly what I would have expected. Bottom closing in on the poor Puppy. He could find himself caught out very easily, and he is going to just simply retreat away before death rolls in. Doesn't want to get shackled up here by the roster. And this will be an easy tower for the team of Bottom. Diabolic Edict, too strong. Fortification is also not available. And that tower was so low they had no time to come in to reinforce. SK having Boots of Tranquil, not exactly what I would have expected. On the Puppy, we just have a Soul Ring. Oh, that's Arsart, sorry. We just have a Soul Ring, nothing more than that. 1.6k in the bank, however. As to what he wants to purchase next, we'll have to wait and see. Divorced. Just having some Arcane Boots. It looks like engagement is about to happen. Shackle, or Hex immediately going down. Ward trap missing ever so slightly. In comes the black hole, but immediately gets popped out. The damage is just too much for him to handle, and these wards are definitely doing their work. Rasa taking a lot of damage. Vorsa taking a lot of damage, rather. Potterbottom trying to do what he can, but the Leshrac takes a fall, and now the Rasta has to be careful. Don't want to be caught out, but we have an Invoker nearby waiting in the Ghost Wall. Immediately comes Cold Snap to land down on Dendy, trying to run away as best as he can, and Shaka goes down. Suddenly, Burrow Strike and Tidehunter is once again returned to the fray. Tornado to fly out. EMP is going to do a lot of damage to everyone that's nearby, or just drain all of their mana. Now Light of Heaven running for his life as best as he can. We have no form of detection, so he could jump into his web, and he has to do it soon as, or he's dead. Never mind.
Mark these words.
Can't run from, you cannot run from an Invoker with phase boots. Doesn't even have drums yet. I thought he had drums, that's why it was so fast. Seems it's not the case. But Wex, phase boots, Invoker, it's not easy to get away from. Looking over at the gold graph, which is currently bugged, so there's no point in looking at it, we'll look over at the experience graph, to which there is a slight advantage, closing in on 2k in the experience department for Bottom. The item, Shadow Fiend going straight for a BKB next, of course already has that Blink Dagger. The Enigma having nothing as of this moment. And we've already covered the Brewmaster, who also doesn't have all that much, just Arcane Boots, probably wants to work his way towards a Blink Dagger next. Bottom I'm guessing they're feeling relatively happy about themselves, so it seems we're going to have the Leshrac working his way towards that mechanism. And this, of course, leaves Tidehunter to be securing himself a pipe. Of course, Hood of the Defiance into pipe. Hex to go down. Puppy's being caught out. Shackle to follow. The EMP is going down as well. Puppy is dead. A nice Burrow Strike might allow him to escape, actually. He doesn't want to die because he wants to use that Epicenter in the next big team fight. And the team of Na'vi know that they cannot venture too deep into this jungle because there are wards here and there's death awaiting them. Bottom lurking about, wanting kills, not going to find any. Drums of War in hand for the Invoker. This is going to be great for chasing down opponents. Vorst alongside Dendy moving in, looking for kills, and we're going to find none other than an Invoker nearby. But they have no form of detection, so they can't really contest him at all, because he can just jump straight into his Ghost Walk. And we have a Ravage, which is about to come off cooldown for the Tidehunter. The Puppy's on his way up here, wanting to join the fight as well, and the two of Bottom are simply going to back off. And what item did we just purchase up? Since we're working towards our 4-star for the Invoker. Now we're moving in for the side. Dendy could find himself getting caught off, or maybe not. Reinforcements are not too far away for the team of Na'vi, but this nice ward placement to come out of Bottom is going to allow them to see any form of reinforcements that are rolling in, and Tide is going to simply walk his way out to the safety of closer to his side of the map. Simple as that. 1200 in the bank for Brewmaster, and Enigma is indeed working his way towards a mechanism, and a smoke going to come out of Bottom. They want some kills, and they are going to find them. There are several members of Na'vi out in the jungle right now. They don't want to get caught separately, however. The Puppy might find himself caught out. The Enigma could find himself caught out as well, and a kill on either of these two heroes would be very, very good for Bottom. And they see them, they're thinking of it. Are they going to push forward? Puppy's heading back. Hex to follow, no black hole for him. Tornado to fly through, picking up the Puppy. Very nicely done. The Ravage, however, only picking up conversions, but it doesn't matter. Arsart takes a fall, and now the rest of the team of Na'vi have to run. Puppy completely out of mana. No Epicenter to come out of him. Cold Snap to land down on Denny. They're trying to do what they can. The split has happened. No Split Earth to happen. And Tide of Time is going to get right-clicked down in a very rapid manner. The Rock to fly out. Dendy currently running for his life. And suddenly, a Spider doing all the damage that he can. Sneaking is getting right-clicked down as well alongside the Rasta. Running straight back into the wards. Not going to do much. One more right-click will do it. Easy peasy. And now Frogged. The Split Earth has ended. Thunderclap to go down. A nice placement for the Deafening Blast to fly through. And in comes the ulti to come out of Dendy, and the damage is too much for him to handle. A triple kill for Na'vi and the team of Brewmaster. Or Brewmaster and the team of Na'vi. As well as a bit of free gold in the form of those wards. And this bear is doing some work, doing some damage over on this bottom lane. We've already been brought all the way to the tier 3 tower, which is very low in HP. And Na'vi, since we're all at top, since we just won a team fight, let's go kill this tier 1 tower and possibly the tier 2. But Bottom aren't going to let them do such a thing that easily. They're coming in to defend already. The Blink Dagger in hand for the Brewmaster. And Shadow Fiend really needs to retreat before he gets himself killed. Doesn't want to die. He's only 300 away from that BKB, and a few more right clicks on a few more neutral cans will allow him to get it easy peasy. And Arsad should be a little bit cautious just going solo as an Enigma over in the bottom lane, especially with no towers nearby to help him out if he finds himself in any trouble. However, Pod and bottom are nowhere to be found. We're all at top and we're pushing out this lane with a couple in mid, and it seems they are going to make their way to top to join the rest of Pod and bottom and try and do what damage they can. Farming in their jungle, how rude. The tier 2 tower still stands, and Na'Vi definitely want to defend this. The Ravage, 30 seconds from cooldown. If they want to fight, they need to fight now. Malphite's starting to come down on sneaking, but the Entangled come on the Enigma. He wants to get that black hole off. Is the epicenter going to be channeled? No, will not. A fantastic tornado and EMP to fly through. No mana for anyone. The Enigma instantly takes the fall. Puppey will be the next. He pops off the epicenter, but it's wasted. Not hitting on everyone. And suddenly, Evorce jumps in, but he gets immediately hexed up. Sneaking is very low. The Ravage is 10 seconds away from cooldown, but I don't think he's going to get the opportunity to use it because Na'Vi is melting under the might of Pod and bottom. A Shackle to come down on Dendi, following up with the Split Earth. The Split Earth coming first. And this is going to be an easy tier 2 tower for the team of Na'Vi. I mean, for the team of Pod and bottom. And they might even be able to do a nice amount of damage to this tier 3. Or maybe rotate to mid and take out this tier 2. And despite the fact that this gold graph is, needless to say, really bugged, it's probably not too far away from the truth. Pod and bottom have a significant tower advantage, as well as a nice little kill advantage. Seeking's taking a lot of damage from the tower. Malphite's starting to come down on him. He could die in a couple of right clicks. What is he doing? I have no idea. He doesn't have a mechanism yet. He can't heal himself up. He is a 3 or so right clicks from death. One Burrow Strike would end his life in a very rapid manner. Some free gold in the form of these wards. This tower almost getting taken down. The team of Pod and bottom are going to back off to the safety of their side of the map. Maybe rotate to mid, take down this tier 2 here while the team of Na'Vi are trying to defend this tier 3 as best as they can, which is 60 HP away from falling. They would fly out, wipe out the creep waves in a very rapid manner. Looking at the items, Brewmaster has secured himself a Blink Dagger, also just picks himself up an Invisibility Rune. Over on the side of Arsat, we are getting ever so closer to our mechanism, but still need a reasonable amount of gold. For the Broodmother, Orchid of the Malevolent in hand for him, and Shadow Fiend, we have a BKB, we have a Blink Dagger, and this is going to be great for the next engagement for Na'Vi. They probably want to get that mechanism, and once they have that, they will be ready to push on and fight. Pot or bottom, however, Mjolnir for the bear. Are you serious? Wait, did he swap? Hang on a second. Okay, I thought he had 2 Mjolnirs. I was like, are you serious? How did he have all this gold? It turns out he just swapped them at the perfect moment. And on the Tidehunter, you of course have that mechanism. Nothing on Rasta, but that's fairly standard. Wait, Tide got mechanism? I was expecting... Rasta has a buckler. Wait, who has... I'm confused. No, Shrek has a buckler. And Na'Vi are forced to back off. This tier 1 tower takes a fall. However, they might pay for it with this tier 3. Malphite's starting to go down there on the Tidehunter. And this bear is doing work. It is doing damage, and the tower is inches away from falling. And Split to go down. Blink to Thunderclap as well. And Pod and bottom are going to retreat as best as they can. Suddenly Dendi, suddenly ultimate, suddenly lots of damage. And Dust of Appearance going down as well, just in case someone tries to run away. Malphite's starting to go down the bear. They are going to be able to take it down. Panda trying to do what it can to try and find out any heroes, but I don't think it's going to be successful. Blink to Thunderclap. Rasta is looking very dead. Chicken to go down. However, it's only going to last for a couple of seconds. Burrow Strike to follow it up, as well as the Spiraling Charges to take the final kill. 2 easy pickups for the team of Na'Vi, but at what cost? Tier 3 tower is taking a fall. The barracks are now exposed. Easy pickings for a hero such as the Lone Druid when the rest of Na'Vi are distracted. And from this point on, this is very smart. Na'Vi transitioning into a Roshan with 2 members of Pod and bottom being melted, going straight for it. Their damage isn't all that significant, and as a result, Pod and bottom are going to be well aware that this is happening, and they might be able to catch them out before Nah, he's dead. Disregard that. I think Roshan's looking relatively dead as of this moment. The detonator to fly through. It's a little bit too late, however, picking up just conversions, but giving a bit of free gold to the Tidehunter. And now he's going to work his way towards a Hood of Defiance. Mechanism in hand for the Enigma, no doubt very happy about that. And the Broodmother working her way towards a BKB, next item on the agenda. And after that nice little victory for Na'vi, they've simply backed off, going to lick our wounds, and then we'll jump straight back into the fighting. But Pod and Bottom are pushing this middle lane, and they are pushing it hard. They want to try and kill a barracks. They've taken the tier 3, they want to make it more. Will they be able to achieve it? It all depends on how Na'vi play this out, as well as Pod and Bottom, of course. The Ravage is currently off cooldown, the wards are off cooldown, all the big powerful ultis are available to start doing damage. The Black Hole is available, Epicenter is available, nice Barrow Strike to come down, and Sneaking going to find himself caught out, Malphite stun to land down on the bear, and Horse is being caught out, no split for him, it's on cooldown anyway, I have no idea what he was thinking. The Black Hole picking up several members, as well as the ultimate coming out of Dendi, a massive amount of AoE damage to be afflicted to the team of Bottom, as well as the Epicenter, the Mechanism, negating almost every single bit of it. And the Shadow Fiend takes the fall. The Aegis of the Immortal has been used up. A nice Barrow Strike to come down, but the Entangle's holding Puppy in place as he jumps straight into the Sandstorm. But the Bear's just doing loads of damage. Sneaking is very low. I don't think they'll have the damage. Yes, they do. The Shadow Rays comes in, and now Aya is running for his life. 4 kills for just an Aegis of the Immortal. Mojo going to try and TP out the damage. The Malphite stun to come in just in time, as well as the Shadow Rays. And an entire team wipe for the team of Na'vi. Epicenter, Black Hole, and of course that ultimate is too much for Pod and Bottom to handle, even with the addition of a Mechanism. And as a result, Na'vi are going to secure themselves this tier 3 and possibly the barracks. They just want a big team fight, and all it cost them was a simple Aegis of the Immortal. Pod and Bottom will definitely not be able to defend this, but we have, no, the wards are currently not off cooldown rather. The Ravage is of course off cooldown. They're going to be hard pressed to hold this tower, but fortification is available, but it will only delay the inevitable. A big army of spiraling, big army of conversions. Nice use for the Deafening Blast, the Shock, as well as the Anchor Smash. Horse moving straight in. His ulti was cooldown, but he's been hexed. They need to burst him down before it comes out. The Dendi joins the fray. In comes Mechanism, but it's not enough to try and save the life. Tidehunter takes a fall. The Shadow Ray is doing too much damage. And they've taken the tower, and Na'vi are actually going to back off. We're not going to continue to press forward, or are we? We're moving straight back in. Tides of Time being caught way out of position. BKB being popped off by the Shadow Fiend. The ulti will be off cooldown within the next 5 seconds. Tides of Time getting right-clicked down. There goes a BKB for Light of Heaven. Going to try and use the Insatiable Hunger to bring himself back to maximum HP, but he can't find anyone to right-click down. Doesn't want to get entangled up by that bear. Has to be very careful not to get caught out. And again, a nice little victory for Na'vi, but then were unable to do what they need to do. But Horse is being caught out. Cold Snap to be brought down on him, and the poor guy, even with his ulti, was not able to escape from the might of Pod and Bottom. Shadow Fiend getting a nice amount of souls for himself, and Pod and Bottom are pushing out this middle lane. They want a bit of revenge. They want to try and take out this barracks. I'm somewhat surprised that we didn't see more damage being dealt by Na'vi, but the team of Pod and Bottom just respawned to the fray a little bit too fast, and they fought valiantly. They did a good job, and we're going to have those big ultimates off cooldown in this next fight. Ravage is off cooldown, and unfortunately, wait, Epicenter's off cooldown, and Black Hole is currently on cooldown, however. Shadow Fiend ulti is still available to blink in and do a lot of damage with the BKB, but Poppy's being right-clicked down. We're not going to see an Epicenter out of him. The mech charge is not enough to save the day, and the Diabolic Edict is melting these barracks down at a very rapid rate. The fortification has been dropped. Na'vi need to move in to try and defend this. Alacrity on the bear. Light of Heaven trying to right-click it down as best as he can. Brewmaster blinking in once again. Trying to do what damage he can, and Dendi coming in with the BKB and the ultimate, and instantly Rasta melt. But Horse is taking massive amounts of damage. The Shadow Rays are going out left, right, and center. Sneaking takes a kill. Frog trying to run away where he can. The Epicenter barely damaging the bear. Burrow Strike to go down, but no one's following up. This could be the death of Poppy if no more damage comes through, and we have a Gem of Truth sight or some form of detection on someone, and a triple kill for the Shadow Fiend in the meantime. 3 for 2, not a bad trade. He could possibly go for more. Dendi is still here to try and hold the line and reinforce, but he has no mana. Should make his way back to base within the next few moments, hopefully. However, there will be no meat. Pod and Bottom are backing off to the safety of their towers, and are going to try and fight another day. Item-wise, what are we looking at? Spirit Bear seems to be working his way towards an Assault Curious, a Silly Bear rather. Tidehunter still working his way towards Hood, which will, of course, turn into a delicious pipe, which will be great. Once Bottom Bottom get that pipe, Na'vi, all of the spell damage to come out of Na'vi, that Epicenter, ulti cooldown to come out of Dendi. Ulti cooldown, ulti combo to come out of those two. It's not going to be anywhere near as effective. Not like we saw before. But Blink Dagger in hand for Arsar, this will allow him to get some nice positioning if he's lucky. And hopefully not get killed instantly. So Blink straight into position, Black Hole to follow it up. A lot of damage to be dealt. We have Invoker going straight for a Sheep Stick by the looks of it. And over on the top, we have just the killing of creeps, nothing at all going on. And Brewmaster working his way towards Aghanims, I'm going to guess. BKB seems somewhat unlikely because his ulti is essentially a free BKB. You can walk through black holes with that stuff. And Broodmother seems to be working her way towards a Manta style, I believe. We've got the Blades of Alacrity, turn that into a Yasha. Bottom, however, deep in Na'Vi's jungle. We're looking for kills, but are we going to find any? Na'Vi are playing it relatively safe. The only one that's far out is the Broodmother, and of course has a TP available to escape straight back to the safety of her home base. But Bottom will happily settle for a Broodmother. I'm sure they will no doubt be very happy to take down a Broodmother, but BKB to TP means easy escape, and chances are they will not be able to take down this Broodmother unless they chain stun for a very long time. Broodmother realizes death is rolling in. TPing here is risky. Is going to BKB TP. Not going to be able to get out of here. Easy peasy. Escapes back to the safety of the fountain, but did use a BKB charge. It's going to be off cool. It's going to be on cooldown rather, and the duration the next time it is used will be lower. Need to fly through, do a bit of damage to the creep wave. And Roshan will be returning to the fray within the next 2.5 minutes or so. SK has a nice amount in the bank, possibly going for a Blink Dagger next, maybe a Veil of Discord. I had a Sunstrike go down for whatever reason. I think they were checking for Roshan. Yes, they were. Creators of the Sunstrike were here just a few moments ago, but alas, Roshan has not returned to the fray, and of course, as a result, Na'Vi are not doing Roshan, because Roshan needs to be alive for them to do that. Bottom once again venturing into the jungle to find some easy kills. The Light of Heaven is already backed out, and I'm going to assume that we have some nice Spylings placed around to scout out any potential ganks. It seems we don't have that. Bottom going to back off away from their jungle, and an Assault Curious secured up by the bear. But for the most part, neither team wanting to commit to anything. We're both sitting back in the safety of our base, but bottom are being a little bit more retroactive. We're looking around for kills, potential easy kills, but Na'Vi are just playing it a little bit too safe at this moment. They want to save their cooldowns for the next big fight. They want to make sure that every single member of Na'Vi is available for the next big fight, which will probably center around this Roshan pit. Both teams absolutely want that extra blanket of insurance. Alan is still working his way towards that hood. Doesn't even have the pipe yet. Now, it's going to be a while before we see that pipe up on the Tidehunter, which will change the team fights significantly. And I still have no idea why Leshrac has a buckler. I really don't know why. I'm pretty sure this armor does not stack with the mechanism, so there's not much point to having it. Aside from just an extra bit of personal armor. When you're alone and there's no teammates beside you. Bottom pushing out this middle lane once again, but Na'Vi are moving in on the offensive. Malphite stun to come down, the Tidehunter blink to Thunderclap to fall down, as well as a silence, but a nice Tornado EMP placement, going to allow him to escape. The 4-star being utilized great there. Dendi trying to blink out ahead, but unable to catch him. Very nicely done by Bottom. The death of that Tidehunter would have been great for Na'Vi. Would have allowed them to possibly take on Roshan, because we have that big hero with the mechanism that is currently dead, and we also have that big, powerful AoE ulti that's being taken out of the mix. And Rashawn's going to be the next big fight. He has just returned to the fray. No doubt Na'Vi are aware. Pod and Bottom are obviously aware, and they're going to try and sneak this under the nose of Na'Vi by the looks of it. Not waiting for a big team fight, just going straight for it. But we can tell Na'Vi are well aware that this is going on. We're all sort of grouping around this Rashawn pit. Both sides want it. Who will get it? We'll have to wait and see. Who will fight out better in the next upcoming team fight? Are we actually going for double meal there? I think we are. BKB to go down. Insatiable Hunger trying to right-click down this bear, but it just can't handle it. Denny blinking in. The ulti, but no one's nearby, doing barely any damage. Shadow Rays to go down. Rasta instantly takes the fall. Now Denny trying to right-click anyone down that's nearby. The split has happened. Chasing after Frog. The rock to fly through. Stun is going to happen. Is he in the Ghost Walk? No, he's not. He has double damage. Burrow Strike to follow. Epicenter to fly. No, not Epicenter. Ulti, Ravage to go through, and then suddenly Stun to land down. He doesn't have the damage he needs to take these two heroes down, and even if he did, the Tidehunter would clean everything up. And Havorce takes a fall to the might of the Leshrac. Not really good engagement. We traded a Brewmaster for a Rasta, which is, again, not exactly a good engagement. We used a lot of BKBs. Do we see a black hole? We didn't use our black hole, and I don't think we used Epicenter. No, we did use Epicenter. And now a lot of these major cooldowns have been burned, but the same can be said for Pod and Bottom. Ravage is off cooldown, as well as the wards are currently also off cooldown, but what the hell? That's different. Na'Vi coming in to fight. This Tide of Time going to be caught off. The Split Earth just barely hitting on our side right there. The team of Na'Vi are moving in. However, Rashawn is dead. The Aegis of the Immortal picked up by the Lone Druid. Now Na'Vi have to back off, because if they die to get Rashawn, it will not be worth it, because he has already taken a fall. And an Entangle to go down Light of Heaven. BKB being popped off. No deafening blast for you. And also popping BKB. BKB's coming out all round. Tidehunter wanted to try and do a bit of damage. A black hole. A fantastic black hole. But they have no follow-up damage to coming up. There's no Epicenter. There's no ulti to come out of the Shadow Fiend. However, it doesn't matter. 2 kills easily picked up by Na'Vi. Can they make it a third? The Light of Heaven is getting very, very low in HP. Tides of Time trying to do what he can, but Light of Heaven does just barely escape. 3 kills for nothing. The Aegis of the Immortal is still available, and Potom Havorce blinking ahead. No Thunderclap, because suddenly Rasta is back during the frame, but a nice double Burrow Strike to be picked up by Poppy. Thunderclap to follow. Ulti to fly out by Dandy. Rasta instantly melts once again. We have the Shadow Rays flying out at every single opportunity. Enigma is very low in HP. Doesn't want to get caught out. The Centaurs want to join the fight as well. And the Aegis of the Immortal has been used. The bear gets taken down, and they are not going to stop here. They are blocking the pursuit. No, they didn't block it. They did a bit wrong, but the damage is too much. He can't even morph into his bear form in time. And 5-man kill for the team of Na'Vi, as well as the Aegis. They didn't even have the Aegis in that fight, and they went so well. That black hole to come out of Arse Art was absolutely crucial, even without the damage of the Epicenter and the damage of the Shadow Fiend ulti to follow it up. What is this ulti called, by the way? Requiem of Souls. I don't think I'm going to say that in a fight. This is a Rax. Easy peasy. Fortification is going to go down, make life a little bit more difficult. Reinforcements are rolling in. The Ravage is moments away from being off cooldown. They might not actually be able to take this Rax. It will be very daring indeed. Tornado to fly out. The split happened at the right moment. They really want this Rax. They're dedicating the cooldowns. They're dedicating the damage. SK moving in, but no mana for an Epicenter. We need to use those Arcane Boots, but they're getting stunned up at every single opportunity, jumping into the Sandstorm. But we do have the Tecton. The Ravage to fly out. SK takes a fall. The Lone Druid is still waiting to respawn as well. BKB to popped off, as well as the Insatiable Hunger. But he's unable to commit to anything. We have the Leshrac moving in position, Orchid of the Malevolent, so no stun for you, he yells out. And Havorce doesn't want to get himself caught out. Light of Heaven's taking a lot of damage. Havorce is going to back off, and Light of Heaven is going to take a fall. Cold Snap has landed down on him. He might actually be able to escape, the Tornado to fly out, just barely missing Light of Heaven, but the Gush. This should secure the death of Light of Heaven. Just waiting for it. Force staffing ahead. Anchor Smash to go down, and there goes a right click. An easy peasy kill. Buys back immediately. He has the money for it. Great play by Na'Vi. Really great play. Unfortunately, they weren't able to take down the Rax, which, needless to say, is downright unfortunate. Hence the, suffix unfortunately, so on and so forth. Match style in hand for Shadow Fiend, as well as, of course, the BKB. How many seconds? The duration on the BKB is only 5 seconds. It's been used many, many times thus far. And Havorce could find himself caught out. The team of Pod and Bottom are all here. How did they have vision of him? He blinks out to safety moments before any right-click damage is dealt. And, of course, Ward here. They've found Havorce. He's deep in the trees, but they can't really get to him. He's just going to TP. Nope, there goes a Deafening Blast. No TP for him. The Hex to follow. And the right-click damage as well as the Edict is too much for him to handle. And for some reason, Shadow Shaman is glowing bright pink. Look at him. Look at him. He's fabulous. Yeah, obviously a source engine texture bug of some kind. Still no Manta for the Broodmother. Would have had the money, but was forced to buy back, of course, and as a result, no Manta for you. Bottom look to be pushing out this middle lane once again. They want the racks, they want it bad. The racks still standing on both middle lanes for both sides of the team. Neither one able to do the damage that they need to do to secure it, but bottom are looking very strong this time. Items keep building up on the lone druid. He's working his way towards a skull basher possibly by the looks of it. And look at the HP melt on this tower, but in comes Dandy. The ulti to fly through. It's not doing all that much damage, however. Hex to go down and Arsar. No black hole for him for the next couple of moments. Shackle to follow it up. A lot of damage to be dealt by him, but the mech charge comes off just in time. Light of Heaven getting right-clicked down, however, the Pulse Nova. There goes the black hole, but it only picks up one member. Meanwhile, Light of Heaven gets killed by the Forge Spirit, by the Invoker. Rasta trying to do what he can, but he does get taken down. 3 members of Pot and Bottom have fallen thus far, and Sneaking is currently on the run. The Ravage is available, but I don't think he wants to use it for escape. He would much rather use it. It might be enough to kill off Arsart, though. Maybe he will use it. He's going to move in. In comes the Ravage. No, he gets stunned before it can happen. Perfect timing for the Malphite stun and a double kill for the Brewmaster. And 4-man death. Once again, trading 1 for 4. Na'Vi looking strong. I really wish I could look at the gold, but it's very obvious that Pot and Bottom do not have a 60,000 gold advantage. That is absurd. But over on the side of XP, a slight advantage for the team of Na'Vi. As to who has more gold, it could be fairly even. I'd say with the Roshan pickups that the team of Pot and Bottom have secured for themselves, it will most likely be in favor for them. But we have extra kills for Na'Vi. I really have no idea how the gold is looking. If only it wasn't bugged. 2.3k in the bank for the SK. He has a Blink Dagger, could go for a Veil of Discord or possibly Agnim's next. The choice is, of course, absolutely his. And maybe Tidehunter isn't going for a pipe. Although I feel it would be really good against Na'Vi because they've got a lot of spell damage being dealt. Skull Basher for the Spirit Bear. How is the Lone Druid looking? Where'd that Mjolnir go? No, it's still there. It's Maelstrom. Did he downgrade it? Oh, he used the Hyperstone in it. Kept the Maelstrom, used the Hyperstone in it as he deconstructed it, or whatever the word is, and built himself an Assault Courier. Sounds very smart. Rast is still glowing for whatever reason. And texture bugs. Beta is beta. It's possible maybe Lone Druid's working his way towards a pipe would not be a bad idea at all. A pipe is just going to be great for the team of Pot and Bottom. It's an extra 600, like a less than a 600 change in the amount of... I can't do this intricately, can I? They're going to take 600 less spell damage with the use of a pipe. There we go. And a Veil of Discord being secured up by the SK. There's going to be a lot of extra damage to come out of that epicenter. And any other spell damage. Any other spells that come out. What is the increase? 35%? Need to weaken about increases the magic. Yeah, 25%, not 35. So it's a good increase of damage. As smoke to come out of Na'Vi, we're looking for some easy kills, and we might be able to find some. Frogs is looking a little bit out of position as of this moment. 3,500 in the bank. Go buy a sheep stick. Good lord. Na'Vi are looking. They are looking. Will they find, however? They could very well do so. Tides of Time is looking very vulnerable. He's the one that's currently outstretched, but he's walking his way, galloping his way straight back to the safety of his base, and as a result, it will be an unsuccessful smoke. Shadow Fiend, next item on the agenda looks to be a butterfly. Looking over at Puppy, of course we have the Veil of Discord, already covered that a few moments ago. Enigma going straight for the BKB, next item for him. And Brewmaster going straight for Agnim's indeed. And Brewmaster still not having that Yasha. I mean that, Manta style, sorry. Smoke Gate coming out once again for Pot and Bottom. How are we looking item-wise? No pipe, which makes me sad. Still no sheep stick. But BKB on the Leshrac still has that buckler for whatever reason. And Na'Vi are sort of split around the place. They need to TP back and defend this. And Arsar doesn't want to find himself caught out. We no doubt probably have a gem of some kind or some form of detection. Na'Vi steadily moving in to defend this barracks, which is... It is looking pretty dead. Did I actually kill the barracks just then? No. No, I must have happened a while ago. I must have forgotten.
Haste!
The Spice is rapidly going to be eliminated by the bear, or at least do a little bit of damage to it. Oh, there's the Edict. Kills everything dead. Yes, indeed. Now we're unifying at the middle lane once again. We're looking to try and end this. Roshan will be up within the next 2 minutes, so whoever wins this team fight could probably take a Rax and then transition into Roshan, which will be very nice for both teams. Whoever gets it, though, of course, as I've said many times, we'll have to wait and see. Pot and bottom are staying deep into their base. They're not venturing outside the walls, or maybe they are as of this very moment. They're not venturing out too far forward. And Na'Vi are going to back off because we don't know where the hell pot and bottom are. And neither team committed to deal any form of aggression. As to how future team fights will unfold, it all depends how Na'Vi play their cards, I feel. With the lack of a mech, the spell damage to come out of the black hole, to come out of the epicenter, as well as of course that ultimate, the Requiem of Souls, to come out of the Shadow Fiend, it's a lot of damage. And of course it's Shadow Razors, so if we can get some good, hit every single person with those AoE, with that AoE, they're probably all going to die. But we've got great team fight to come out of pot and bottom, or not to mention the split out of the Brewmaster. But we have some great team fight to come out of pot and bottom. We've got a lot of AoE from the Leshrac, from the Invoker, then we've got a good initiation from that, indeed, Ravage, and we are going for a pipe. That Hood of Defiance just took forever. However, things are going to change. They're going to change a lot once the team of pot and bottom secure themselves that pipe. Once that pipe goes down, it's 600 spell damage that's going to be negated completely, and that could make the difference between everyone being alive and dead. Everyone, you know, surviving that combo and everyone dying to it. Roshan has returned to the fray. Nice, smart idea to place a sentry ward down so no one smokes in. And once again, pot and bottom are looking in Na'Vi's jungle for any kills, but they're not going to find any. But the Sunstrike has gone down, revealing that indeed Roshan has returned to the fray. And this Roshan is very important. There's keys, and they're going straight for it. They want this as fast as possible, and pot and bottom are rapidly closing in. Whoever wins this team fight could potentially win the game, and of course they will have the Aegis and the cheese. This could be very bad. Puppy catching out the bear. They know what's going on. The Aegis has fallen, and it's both been secured by the team of Na'Vi. Immediately, the ulti flies out. A bit premature there, not doing all that much damage. The bear is going to get recreated immediately. The split has gone off. A lot of premature ultis being popped off by Na'Vi. And instantly, Rasta takes a fall. A nice Ravage to come out, but several members of BKB not doing as much as they could. The Aegis of the Immortal instantly used. The Epicenter doing loads of damage to every single member of pot and bottom, and Invoker immediately melts. Arsart trying to do what he can, however, does get taken down in a very rapid manner, and after that, with buybacks being had, Na'Vi are now running from this big mass of pot and bottom, but they are forced to retreat as well, and Poppy just electing to push forward. Dendy moving in to reinforce. Split Earth missing there on Poppy. A lot of damage is being dealt. Link to Thunderclap to come down, as well as the Broodmother, and the Leshrac takes a fall. TP is out being had by the Tidehunter, and Lone Druid is currently running for his life. His bear, however, will get taken down. And that is very good because that bear has a lot of items and will not be joining the fray for another 70 seconds. And this game is looking great for Na'Vi as of this moment. They've got loads of items. Half of the other team is dead. Tidehunter trying to do what he can, but these racks are going to get taken down. Fortification is available for pot and bottom. Are they going to use it? It's only going to delay the inevitable. Insatiable Hunger to be used. A creep wave will be wiped down in a very rapid manner. Fortification comes down. Reinforcements rolling in. They're trying to do what they can. Havorse is very low in HP. Doesn't want to get caught out. Hex to immediately land down. Malphite stun to land down there on the Shadow Shaman. He's going to get right-clicked to death. Spiraling charges to fly out. And they're going to continue on with doing damage to this barracks, which is rapidly regen back to full HP in that small bit of distraction. Mech charge to fly through. In comes a meatball alongside the deafening blast, and now pot and bottom are moving in. They still can't kill this freaking barracks. And despite all of that, despite the Aegis, despite that great engagement, the barracks still stands for pot and bottom. Still no Mantis style for the Broodmother. Unification going on in the middle lane once again for pot and bottom. They are just dedicating themselves to taking down these towers. They just want to end it. They could possibly rotate to top, easy peasy, or to bottom. Both are an option. The tower is very low at top, and no tower is present at all at top. I mean, at bottom, the tower's almost dead. No towers present at top at all. There we go. That's how it meant to unfold. A couple of members of Na'vi pushing out this bottom lane will be able to do so very effectively. Pod and bottom are simply going to be able to kill them if they close in on them, because it's just 2 versus all of pod and bottom if they do move all in at once. The Na'vi are going to back off from this bottom lane. And Brewmaster has just secured himself the Aghanim Scepter, indeed. 2100 in the bank for the Broodmother. Wants to pick up that ultimate orb. Go straight into that Manta style. Dandy, 5.2k in the bank. An easy butterfly for him, if that is indeed what he's going for. I think the Null Talisman... Oh, there's a butterfly. It's like, I think the Null Talisman... Oh, there it is. I'm pretty sure the only thing that the Null Talisman builds into is that butterfly. Oh, it also builds into a Heaven's Halberd. We're waiting for the next big fight to engage. Do we have a pipe yet? We do have a pipe. Now this is probably going to make the difference and will probably grant victory for the team of pod and bottom. This pipe is going to absorb a massive amount of spell damage. And Na'vi, the main reason they're winning these fights is because of all the spell damage to come out of the black hole, to come out of the epicenter, to come out of the Shadow Rays, and the Requiem of Souls ultimate to come out of the Shadow Fiend. Of course, alongside the Shadow Rays, which I just mentioned. This fight, this next fight, will probably go in favor for pod and bottom significantly. Pipe is going to make a massive amount of difference. Will that difference be enough, however? I think it will be. I think they will be able to take this down. Fortification instantly dropped. Na'vi coming in to reinforce to do what they can. Light of Heaven doesn't want to get caught out. Pops off the BKB. Havor's blinking straight in. The split unable to go down. In comes the epicenter. The pipe hasn't been used yet. And a lot of damage is being dealt. Havor's getting bursted down. Is getting chained on. Is unable to get the split off. The Shrek takes the fall. A nice Ravage to follow it up. Light of Heaven getting right click down as well. In comes the pipe. Dendy unable to get any skills off and immediately gets burst down alongside many other members of Na'vi. The cheese has been used on Light of Heaven, but it's not going to make a slight difference as he gets chain hexed and dies. And this is looking like the death of Na'vi. Didn't even need the pipe, actually. It made no difference. And with the top rack being taken down, they're going to rotate down to the bottom. They could just kill the tower alongside the Ancient as of this moment, but they want to be very sure and very thorough, because this game could still easily be won. A nice black hole, but it's going to immediately be cancelled up here. No epicenter, no ultimate, not doing the damage that it needs to do. And Twitch, Pod and bottom can just walk this off. Shackles to land down on Dendy. The Entangle to follow it up. They're trying to do what they can. BKB and Insatiable Hunger. The mech charge. Force stuffing onto the low ground. Very smart. Puppy trying to do what he can. Aya is taking a lot of damage. The Tidehunter is going to TP out to safety. Very nice Deafening Blast and Meatball to fly out. And fairly even exchange of affairs. However, I feel the Pod and bottom came out ahead because look at Na'vi's base. Look at Pod and bottom's base. Everything still stands except for the tier 3 tower in mid. Meanwhile, everything is pretty much dead except for a couple of the ziggurat, the little building things. Dead, 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 dead. But Na'vi, they can still bring this back. If they win a good team fight, if they get some nice black holes, they tie all their spells together with absolute perfection, Na'vi can and will win. But it's going to be very, very clutch because Pod and bottom are years ahead right now. They've got superior map control. They've pretty much killed Na'vi's entire base, which is a bit of a problem for Na'vi. And even if they win a big team fight, can they defend their base and kill the opponent's base? Can they eat their way through barracks as well as these two towers before Mega Creeps just go kill this? Because if with no one being left back to defend, well, they will of course be forced to leave someone back, and we have buybacks available for the team of Pod and bottom. They can return straight back into the action within a couple of moments. Tornado going to come through. This is very bad for Na'vi, very bad for Vorce. He will rapidly get taken down. And that's no split. Once again, we didn't see the split in the last team fight, and it was still relatively even. And with him being dead, no buyback being available, Team of POTM are going to move in and try and secure victory. Entangle to go down. Look at the mech healing every single unit nearby. You only get a black hole. 3 heroes clustered together, but no black hole came down. It's currently on cooldown. Sunstrike to fly out for whatever reason. In comes the epicenter. A nice chunk of damage, but it's not doing all that much that it needs to. The mech is going to negate just about everything. Meatball to fly through, as well as a fantastic ravage. 3 members fallen for Marv. In goes a 4th, and this will be GG. GG is being called out. They cannot fight from here on out. The tower's dying to creeps. Cold Snap to go down, and the Entangle to follow. The poor Enigma gets taken down. GG well played to come out of both teams as the Ancient takes the fall, and POTM 2-0 the champions of Dota 2. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Defense 2, brought to you and organized by joinDOTA, commentated by Toshley and sponsored by Razor and BenQ. The playoffs of the Defense 2 between POTM and Na'Vi, with POTM taking the second game in the set of 3, or rather, what would have been a best of 3, but 2-0ing them and thus moving further ahead in this tournament. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Toshley. I'll see you later.